Happy afternoon, children. This is your English teacher Shakti from SRGDS Metric High Secondary School, Tiruvannamalai. Standard 8, Subject English. In our previous class, we learnt on Sir Isaac Newton, the Engineer Scientist, Section 1. First, we have to recap what we were studied. Sir Isaac Newton was born on December 25th, 1642 at Woolsthorpe in England. After death of his father, his mother had second marriage with clergyman. His grandma was very kind and caring to look after him. Isaac was chiefly remarkable for his ingenuity that means creativity, ingenuity in all mechanical activities. He always had a set of little tools and saws of various sizes and manufactured by himself. Okay, next. His grandma to apprentice him to a clock maker. He made some of curious clocks like water clock and sundial. Nearby his house there was a windmill. He oftenly went there to examine about process of machinery, and he made same windmill in small size and it's worked properly. Okay, that's all. Now let's move on to today's topic. Unit 3, Prose 3, Sir Isaac Newton, the Engineer Scientist, Section 2. Take turns and read this section aloud. This is a picture of Sir Isaac Newton. In this picture, reflecting his research or invention. And look at the heavenly bodies through telescope. Dear children, let's take your textbook and pencil. Listen carefully and follow on the line by line explanation and should write down the meaning of the hard word while teaching. For improving your reading skill, you should read the lesson 2 or 3 times. Now let's see section 2. Isaac's playmates were enchanted with his new windmill. They were thought that nothing so pretty and so wonderful had ever been seen in the whole world. Let's see. Enchanted. What's the meaning of enchanted? Happy or delighted. Okay. Isaac's playmates were happy to see the little windmill. They thought that nothing so pretty. But they thought that it's not so pretty, it's not so beautiful. But his effort to make this windmill is good. Here before no one could make this. So his friends admired and told that it's so wonderful had ever been seen in the world. Okay. Next. But Isaac said one of them, "You have forgotten one thing that belongs to a mill." "What is that?" asked Isaac. For he supposed that from the roof of the mill to its foundation he had forgotten nothing. But one of his friend, Isaac's one of friend said that you have forgotten one thing that belongs to a mill. You had forgotten one thing. What he had forgotten? So he asked, "What is that? What is that I had forgotten?" He thought that, Isaac thought that the roof of the mill maybe had forgotten. But his friend had answered. What his friends had answered? Why, where is the miller? You had found the mill. But where is the miller? Said his friend. That is true. I must look out for one, said Isaac, and he set himself to consider how the deficiency should be supplied. So his friend had a question to the Isaac Newton. Where is the miller? Yeah, it's correct. I just look out for that. But he had not forgotten, but he thought that the next paragraph he might easily have made the miniature figure of a man, but then it would not have been able to move about or perform the duties of a miller. But perhaps some two-legged millers are quite as dishonest as this small quadruped. Okay, so he thought that. Who thought that? Isaac Newton thought that it's very correct. I just look out for, but the two-legged miller or dishonest person. So he had not wishes to be the miller. Okay, next. As Isaac grew older, it was found that he had far more important matters in his mind than the manufacture of toys, like the little windmill, all day long, if left to itself. He was either absorbed in thought or engaged in some book of mathematics or natural philosophy. See, Isaac had grew old. He is more interested to read mathematics and natural philosophy than manufacturing toys. Okay, because of that he grew old. Next, at night I think it probable. Probable, that means most likely. For all night he researched something curious. Okay, he looked up with reverential curiosity to the stars and wondered whether they were worlds like our own, and how great was their distance from the earth, and what was the power that kept them in their courses. Perhaps that means maybe or possibly. Even so early in life, Isaac Newton felt a presentiment that he should be able hereafter to answer all these questions. So, he probably, most likely, for all the night, he had researched. Okay, naturally, he looked up to see the stars, and his thoughts was to invent how to great was their distance from the earth. So he wanted to know the distance from the earth to sky. Okay, so he had many questions in his mind. Then he had to research. Next, when Isaac was 14 years old, his mother's second husband being now dead, she wished her son leave school and assist her in managing the farm at Woolsthorpe for a year or two. Therefore, he tried to turn his attention to farming, but his mind was so bent on becoming a scholar that his mother sent him back to school and afterwards to the University of Cambridge. University of Cambridge. Okay. See? So, after that, his mother's second husband was died. So, her wishes, he had left from school and she wanted to and he wanted to help her for the farming at his native place Woolsthorpe. But his wishes is he looked back to school and attention to his subjects, and he wanted to become a scholar. So for that he went to school back And afterwards, he went to the University of Cambridge. Okay, next. He was the first that found out the nature of light. For before his day, nobody could tell what the sunshine was composed of until then. You remember, I suppose, the story of an apple's falling on his head, which lead him to discover the force of gravitation and which keeps the heavenly bodies in their courses. When he had once got hold of this idea, he never permitted his mind to rest until he had searched out all the laws by which the planets are guided through the sky. This he did as thoroughly as if he had gone up among the stars and tracked them in their orbits. So he first found that the nature of light, but nobody could recognize easily. So he discovered the force of gravitation, nature of light. He had found that, but nobody could recognize easily. After that, he discovered the force of gravitation. You know the story of the gravitation. Okay. What's the story? Already we had seen the previous class. You know that? The story of the apple falling on his head. Okay. Which helps to discover the law of motion. As a boy, he found out mechanism of a windmill, but he couldn't explain thoroughly to everyone. But as a man, now he has a man. He explained after his fellow men how worked the mechanism of the universe. Okay, next. As a boy, he had found out the mechanism of a windmill, and as a man, he explained to his fellow men the mechanism of the universe. Okay, next. While researching, he was accustomed to spend night after night in a lofty tower, gazing at the heavenly bodies through a telescope. His mind was lifted far above the things of this world. He may be said, indeed, to have spent the greater part of his life in worlds that lie thousands and millions of miles away, for where the thoughts and the heart are, there is our true existence. See here, accustomed. The meaning of accustomed is something familiar with. Okay. He spent his night, mostly his night times, he spent to research and looked at the heavenly bodies through a telescope. After that, he found something. When he was old, Newton now lived to be very old man, renowned thinker, and was made a member of parliament and received the honor of knighthood from the king. But he cared little for earthly fame and honors and felt no pride in the vastness of his knowledge. All that he had learnt only made him feel how little he knew in comparison to remain to be known. See, Newton, now he is very old, was a great person, renowned thinker. He was one of the member of the parliament and he received the award from the king. Who is the award? The honor of knighthood. He received from the king. And then he was not like to be fame, but he had learnt a lot to make him feel happy. And he compared himself what he remained to be known and what will learn. That is his fame. Okay. Next. This is another picture reflecting his research. I seem to myself like a child. See, this means he has boundless knowledge. Okay, I seem to myself like a child. He observed playing on the seashore and picking up here and there a curious shell on a pretty pebble, while the boundless ocean of truth lies undiscovered before me. He thought that and he asked himself, what? I have a boundless knowledge in me, like an ocean. So he want to discover much more from himself. Okay, that is so his knowledge is compared to the ocean.